They were a part of it every step of the way. I mean, they had a lot of trust. They really trusted me, initially. And then once we brought Roxann on board, they trusted her. And then when Chrissy came on board, they trusted her. So from the beginning, they gave insight on the script. They had, a few notes. They came to set. We showed them a cut of the film. So they were involved and we were talking all the time. I mean, I would talk to them. Roxann would talk to them. I think Joyce even reached out, via Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, we chatted a bit on the social media.
Yeah, I mean, she's big on, she loves Facebook.
Yeah, she knows.
Oh,
she
yeah,
knows.
Joyce
she
is a
knows.
Facebook queen.
Yeah, she knows. Yeah.
So, yes, they were incredibly involved every step of the way.
That's why when we got the script, it was like, it's there already.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Roxann, what kind of conversations can you recall that you guys would talk through and things you would have? And how is that different for you procedurally from your work on television? Here we have, the real life subjects coming in and kind of helping you figure out how to best tell this story. What was your experience like with that?
Well, it was so great to have access to them, and I spent an entire weekend with them before we even began scouting locations. I was visiting the hospital, I visited the lake, I stayed at their home, I had lunch with them, and really soaked in the environment, met the first responders, because I wanted to make sure that we were going to get it right. It was very, very important. And that weekend made all the difference. And then following that, I mean, they were at my fingertips on my cell phone anytime. I would text John. I go, what kind of music were you listening to, like, on that day? Like, what were you listening to? I mean, they were just always there to give us feedback and also to help us get it right. I think that's what we all wanted to do, was just get it right. It's a true story,
Was that weekend challenging for them to find all these spots to kind of recreate? Yes, here we are, they're on the other side, and we can see the beautiful stuff that's come from it. But in those moments, it must have been a really a traumatic experience of knowing, my son's here, my son's there. Now you're asking her to go through. Does this look like the spot where he fell through into the ice and stuff like that? Were they good with that sort of stuff?
It was really interesting. They each had varied responses. I think Joyce was just, sort of like the guide, and now this is where this happened. And this is where this happened. But she got emotional when she said, that's the hallway that I walked down to go see him. And the door was like right there, and that affected me quite a bit. Also, when we went to the lake, it's interesting, at that time, John still hadn't quite, I think, absorbed or digested everything that was going on with him. And while I spoke with the first responders and we were standing at the edge of the lake where this occurred, he went off on his own and had his earphones in, and didn't want to hang there with us. He's kind of a different person now as he's gotten used to this, and also understanding the importance of his story. And I think he's really found his place. But yes, they each went through different things. Brian also spending time with him. I think he was still even a bit reluctant in wanting to relive some of these experiences. So it was fascinating.